Windows updates. I'm going to go on a little ramble before we get into our devlog about Windows updates. We all have them. You get the little pop-up in the corner. It says, hey, here's a Windows update. Would you like to update your computer? No, thank you. My computer's working just fine. I don't need to be updated. It says, okay, no worries. We shall remind you in a couple of days. And then in a couple of days, it pops up. It says, hey, you know that Windows update that you said you didn't want? Would you like it now? No, thank you. No, my computer's fine. Okay, we shall remind you in a couple of days. A couple of days goes by. It says, hey, you know that Windows update that you didn't want? Well, you don't have no choice anymore. We're going to update it. We're going to update your computer without your consent, without your knowledge even. I'll do it overnight. So it updates the computer. Nothing like good seems to change. All it does is reset all your settings, all your OBS settings, all your audio settings, all your microphone settings. You've now got a brand new computer basically. You need to do everything from scratch again. The amount of issues and troubles I've had between last devlog and this devlog, I could make a whole devlog about. It's okay though. I think we're all fixed. I think I sound okay again. I don't sound like a robot or with broken or... I don't know what it does. Why is a Windows update touching my stuff? Get your hands off my stuff, Windows. I don't want it to be updated. Anyway, ramble over. Breathe. Today's plan sounds pretty simple, but there's going to be a couple of hurdles for us to get over. I want to get a score system going. Just a number, maybe, in the corner of our screen that starts off at 0. And if you touch the chest, it increases by 1. And if we fall off the level, it resets it to 0. Doesn't that sound simple? That sounds easy, doesn't it? But there's an issue. Now, at the moment, if you touch the chest or fall off, all the game is doing is resetting all of this stuff, just resetting the scene. Which means if we had our score tracker in here, and we had a little script that does what we said, +1 when you touch the chest, reset to 0 if you fall off. When we touch the chest, the scene resets, including the score tracker, which means the score tracker would always say 0. I'm sure that there are at least a million better ways to do this than how I'm going to do it. But I don't care. I like doing things my way. I like in the most jankiest, hackiest way. I'm going to have another scene. And this scene is going to be called Initialize. Now this scene is going to be a scene that the player doesn't even know exists. So we don't need a light in it. And you know what? We don't even need a camera. It's going to be like the boot system of a computer. We can have the score tracker in here. Score tracker. We can have like some kind of save and load system maybe, or potentially some kind of audio manager system. We basically sort of set up the game behind the scenes, and once it's done its job, it'll send us over to the generation where we can play the game. Then when we reset this scene and resets everything in it, it won't reset the objects that initialized in our initialize scene. And we can send this score tracker through different scenes, and it shouldn't, hopefully, be affected by any kind of resetting. Okay, I have a score tracker script. This is it. For testing, this is hopefully all we need. It does two things. It says, don't destroy me when you load a different scene, but now load a different scene. Let's test it. We have our score tracker in our initialize scene. If we hit play, it should go straight to our level, which we can play. Perfect. Everything all works and moves. And as you can see, we have two categories now. We have the generation scene stuff with our camera and our light and the generation stuff and the void. And then we have our don't destroy on load area where it has the score tracker in it. Perfect. If I fall off the level, the scene resets, but the score tracker has remained. So to make sure that the numbers don't reset, we can do a little test for this as well. We just say serialize field, and we'll just do test number for the moment, and we'll say that's equal to 0. Float and F. Okay, so we have a little test number here. If I drop it down, it should be over here somewhere when it compiles. Load up. There we go. Test number of 0. Now, if we get our void, for example, and I'm going to do this a bit of a janky way, just for testing purposes, awake, and we shall say score tracker, oops, tracker, and we shall say score tracker equals find object of type score tracker. And then when we fall off the level, let's get a point when we fall off the level. So we can say score tracker, test. What did I call it? What did I call the thing? Test number. Let's just go public instead. Test number plus plus. Now this is doing the opposite to what we want. This is going to make our score increase, hopefully, every time that we fall off the level. Let's test it out. Let's give it a try. Okay, we're in our generation scene. We have the score tracker. It says 0. Let's fall off. It now says 1. And if we fall off again, it now says 2. Okay, let's take this then and put it onto our treasure chest instead. We can say, let's just do the same thing again here. Awake. And we can say score tracker. Oop, done that again. Score tracker. Yeah, copy and paste. That's what it's there for, isn't it? That's what copy and paste is here for. Copy and paste. And copy and paste. But we can reset. We can change the reset one now, and we can just say equals 0. Equals 0. F. Yeah, I think that should work. So if we touch the chest, it goes up by 1. If we fall off, it resets it. Ooh, this is always nervous. Okay. So we're on the score tracker. We can see our score here, and let's find the chest. Where is it? There's the jump. We know it's going to be after the jump, so it's definitely going to be this way. And we go up and around here. I see it. Okay, 1. Perfect. And then let's do another one. Let's go over the jump. And bounce our way across here. What way is it? Over the bridge? It is over the bridge. Okay. 2. And then let's fall off. 0. Sweet. That's exactly what we need. All we need to do now is get this number on the screen. Here we are back in the generation scene. I have added a canvas with a little text on it. I've just put it as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This will hopefully say 0. But for testing purposes, we'll just put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Imagine completing that many levels. That would certainly be a high score. Let's go on the canvas. Let's add a new script. Call your scripts what they do. So we're going to say show score on screen. I think that sounds pretty simple. Let's make it. Let's open it up. And, oh, by the way, I've also changed, I think this is called like test number. I've called it dungeons cleared. It makes more sense. That's what it is, isn't it? That's the amount of dungeons that we've cleared. Let's get rid of all this. And again, score tracker. I know. I'm very aware. I'm going to say again, there's a million better ways to do it than what I'm doing it. I'm doing it my way. If you want to do it better, you go and do it better. You go and make Dungeon Dash better than I can, okay? Score tracker equals find object of type score tracker. My way works, hopefully. I don't know yet. If it doesn't work, I'll ask you guys for help and apologise. We want... Oh, I think we're going to need using TM Pro as well, I think. Text Mesh Pro, UGUI. What do I want to call it? Score UI? Yeah, Score UI, I think we'll call it for the moment. Or Score UI Text, maybe. Score UI Text. And I think if we just say Score UI Text equals the score tracker's dungeons cleared to string. That should be, in my little hacky way, that should be all we need. If we take this text element, computer freak out, we drop it into there, and go back onto our initialize scene. Hopefully it won't say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Hopefully it'll say 0. It do. That's a good sign. If we fall off the edge, hopefully it doesn't again go to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It stays at 0. And let's complete the level. I'm going to go this way. Oh, 1! There we go, we've completed 1. Let's complete another one. This way? I think so, maybe. No, I fell off. Okay. 0! Excellent. Let's make sure it goes further than 1, though. Okay, 1. 2. Great. Let's do one more. I'm addicted to it. I'm addicted to my own game already. It's not that way. I don't think it's that way either. It must be this way. Go over here. Around the hole. Oh, it's not that way either. Of course it would be like the 3 biggest levels that we've ever had generate. Not them little tiny ones. No. Nice big difficult one. Got a big jump. Skip it. Yes. Oh, what a jump. Did you see that shortcut? Steady. Around. 3. And if we fall off, 0. Whew. We're there. So now that we can track how many levels that we've completed, I'd really like to be able to just save that number and reload it back when the game is next played. And I think I'm going to use Easy Save 3, it's called, for this. I'm not 100% sure, I think this is the same plugin I used for my little farm game. If you saw my failed videos, there's a little farm game that could save and load, and that done the time and the placements of all the objects and the locations and the states, and it got quite in depth. We don't need anything quite as crazy as that. We're going to need literally something like this, an integer value save, which is just the number of levels that we've completed. It should be relatively simple, so I was just having a quick flick through the documentation again, trying to catch myself up, and I think we can do it. This software or this plugin can do like cloud saving and all kinds of like quite complicated stuff. We're going to use it for the simplest operations that we can. Let me see if I can get something cracking. Here it is, the moment of truth. I've literally only written a couple of lines of code. I'll show you them in a minute if it does work. I haven't tested it yet. I want to test it with you guys first time, because if it doesn't work, then, well, I probably won't show you. And if it does work, it makes me look like a genius. Let's hit play and see what we've got. In the top left corner, we've got dungeons cleared 0, and we have high score of 0. Oh, by the way, I made a little new finish zone, look, hey, with a little round bit on the floor here, and a big staircase, and some pillars. Just changed up a little bit. I was a little bit bored, so I done that. Okay, dungeons cleared 1, and a high score of 1. Now, I want to fall off now. Okay, dungeons cleared 0, and a high score still of 1. Let me now close the game, and then reload the game. Ooh. Okay. Error. I go fix. I be back. Okay, I think I found the problem. I think I was getting floats and integers confused. The high score and score, for some reason, I had set as a float, which means it could have been a decimal number. And I can't complete 1.5 levels or 2.2 levels, can I? So it didn't really know what to save. I think I've got it now, though. So dungeons cleared, high score of 1, and let's fall off. And it should go back to a 0 and 1. Perfect. Now let's do the same as what we've done before. So we can close the game. The game's now stopped. We then reload up the game. And we still keep our high score of 1. That's a good sign. So let's now complete 2. And see if it saves that. I see the direction. It's over here. Keep the speed up. Oh, that wasn't a great turn. We got it though. Down the long straight. Up the hill. Boing. Okay, 1. No. I'm only trying to prove my concept. I think it's this way. Okay, to make things easier on myself, can I just drop this down to like 3 or something? And just make the levels shorter? I'm getting tired trying to find my way around the level every time. There we go, look. See, I kept the high score of 1. That's really good still. Okay, this is easier. Look at this, hey? 1. Why didn't I do this from the beginning? It would have been much smarter. 2. Okay, high score updated. And a 3. Okay, and now let's fall off. A 0 and 3. Good. If I complete another level now, it's not gonna like reset my high score to 1 again, is it, or anything silly like that? No, my high score is still 3. And then hit another 1. 2. Okay, perfect. Then we'll close down the game and then load it all back up again. A lot of testing required on these. Hey, perfect. We have a high score system. That was a big part of our core game loop. If you remember, we wanted the game to save our high score, and we've got that. Excellent. Let's try and dress this up a little bit now. The UI, it looks a bit bland with just a boring font up there. I nearly forgot to show you the code. It is really simple for those of you that are interested here. We have our integer of our dungeons cleared that we've seen already, and I've added another variable that I've just called a high score. Now, when the game initially loads up, we make the object persistent, which we've talked about already, and then we see if a high score exists. If it doesn't exist, then it doesn't load it, and if it does exist, we load the high score before we go to the main game. And that's as simple as that. Down here, I've just got a little Devlog to clear the save. If I hit the backspace key, it just sets the high score to 0 and then saves the new high score. So I can take away my 3 if I need to, if I want to. And then the only other time that this gets affected is when we touch the treasure chest. So when we touch the treasure chest now, we increase our dungeons cleared variable by 1. And then if our dungeons cleared is a bigger number than our high score, we save the high score to our dungeons cleared number and save it. And then we reload the scene. It is really as simple as that. And then to get it onto the screen, ooh, red dot, to get onto the screen, like before, we've got the score of dungeons cleared, and then the score tracker dungeons cleared, and then the high score is simply the same. It just takes that and shows it on screen. Let me wipe the high scores, make sure that works, because I haven't actually tested that. So if I hit backspace and then probably roll off the level, I would imagine, because it doesn't update live, and there we go, and our high score is reset back down to 0. If I stop and then open it back up, it should be on 0, right? It shouldn't go back to 3. Yeah, perfect. Okay, yeah, high score system or save system is implemented. Hey, by the way, this might help some of you guys out. I use a website called 1001 Fonts. Really cool website. You can just, like, in here, search for a type of text. So I put in medieval, as it's a little bit dungeony kind of feeling. I went through some pages. We're on page 5. I like this one, Knight's Quest Regular. I think that could look quite cool. And on the right hand side here, you can see there's a couple of little coloured tags. Now these red tags are free for personal use, so school homework and projects and things like that, it's fine for. But these green ones are free for commercial use. So if I, not that I have any plans to at the moment, but if I did want to sell Dungeon Dash as a product, I would want to make sure that everything in the game I'm allowed to sell, I'm allowed to use. So I tend to only use commercially free fonts and stuff like that and images in my games anyway. If I ever did want to, it keeps me out of trouble. It's just best to stay safe. So if we click on this, we can see some different variations. I obviously don't care about these two. We can see the characters. Obviously I'm going to want numbers, and it does seem to look like that there are numbers. There's uppercase, there's lowercase, there's some fancy helmets even on a couple of letters. I don't even know what letters there'd be, but it looks like a pretty cool font. So we're going to download that here, and then I can load it back into Unity. Okay, now I'm using Text Mesh Pro, which means I can't. Let me show you. If we go into the generation here, we open up our canvas. I can't just drag in the font straight into here. As you can see, there's a little no sign. It won't allow me to do it. I need a font asset, and I think if I go up here and I go down to Text Mesh Pro, we can create a font asset creator here. Now I can drag the font into here. We can change some settings if we need to, but I don't need to. We hit generate, perfecto, save. I shall save it right here. That sounds good to me. It should pop up. Perfect. This big F is the one that we want. We can close that down now. I can drag this onto here, and I can drag this onto here. Oops. Look at that. That looks much smarter. Hit play. It's a subtle change, but boy, does that make a difference. That's cool. We can change the size and all that kind of stuff. Let me complete a level. Hup, up. Let's see what the number 1 looks like. I bounced over the chest. Ooh, why chest? No, chest suddenly no work. Ooh, why? Oh, I know. Yeah, duh. Because we didn't start the game from the initialized scene. We just started it from the dungeon scene, didn't we? So we need to go through here. There we go, and there's our high score of 3 loaded up. Sweet. Very happy. I've made a new start platform, something a little bit more decorative, I think. And I've got these archways. I'm going to give this a try. I haven't tested it out yet. But each archway is tied to a doorway. And I'm hoping, again, I haven't tested it yet. We'll find out in a minute. That if, like, the path, for example, goes this direction, then it'll load the arch. But it'll only load the arches in directions that the level goes. So if the level doesn't go this way, for example, it'll just delete this archway. Let's just do a test. Let's find out. Why talk about it when we can test? Okay, perfect. There we go. So the archway has only loaded up in that direction. That's cool. I don't think I've got a collision on it though, do I? No, we can travel through it. We can fix that quickly. Boop, boop. Mesh. Mesh. Collider. Something like that. And save it. Okay, cool. And then what did I want to do? I came back because I wanted to do something. Oh yeah, I remember. I want to have some lighting going on in here. So maybe something like a pillar. And yeah, something like this. Let's drop one of these in. And I want to see if we can get some lights going. So there's a little torch. And if I can put a little flame in there, I think that'd be pretty cool. Now, this asset pack has some pre-made ones, and I'm hoping candle flame, dust, electricity, fire. If I drop that in there. Okay, that's a little bit big. I could scale it down, but we'll see what fire 2 is like. That's it. That's cool. That's smaller. Let's lift that up and pop that in here somewhere. I think, give that a go. Give that a go. So we'll have one here. Let's save that as a piece. And then there. And here. Play. Hey, cool. Okay, the fire's going through the top. That doesn't matter, though. That's pretty cool. I like that. That's definitely added another level of interest to us. We should be able to hit this. Yeah, bonk. Cool. Oh, this is getting cool. This is looking sick, huh? And my little pea brain has just gone ping and figured something out. I don't need 4 directions on a start platform because it's the start. Therefore, it'll only generate in one direction from the start. It's not going to be able to generate north and south, for example, because then this wouldn't be the start platform. It would just be a middle platform because it would be between 2 other tiles. So there's no point in having 4 directions. You might as well just delete those and have the 2 directions. It's only going to generate that way. Also, I want to put this up to, like, I don't know, 100, just as a test to finish off here. I don't think I'll ever find the exit. I think the maze will be too big. Maybe the computer will crash. Oh no, it didn't crash. Well, that's something at least. But yeah, I don't think I'll ever find the finish. Unfortunately, though, again, that is all that I've got time for today. If you enjoyed the devlog, then please hit that like button. I really do appreciate it. If you haven't already, then feel free to subscribe. Any comments and suggestions, leave them in the comments section below. I love reading them. I love writing them down on my little Trello board that I'm working off here. And all your little ideas do get added on, and I'll get round to them when the time is right. I have no idea where it is at all. In fact, pause. Let's have a look on the scene view, shall we? Not here. Bunk. Where is the there's the dungeon. That's what it looks like. Whoa! I tell you what, that looks quite techy, doesn't it, huh? Yeah, I would never. There's the start. There's where we started. So you'd have to sort of navigate your way through all of this, all of that. And the treasure chest is over there. Really cool that the generation works on a level this size even. It doesn't seem to be any errors. It's not cutting through itself. It's not sort of bugging itself out. Cool. Looks strong. Looks good. I shall see you guys in the next devlog. Bye!